Hello. That terrible light. Every time I start to talk to you lot, the dog's going nuts. Hello. How are you doing? Hopefully she's stopped. No, she's out there barking now. She can stay there. So I have just written a blog. Oh God, this happened last time, didn't it? 2 seconds, let me silence the dog. Don't go away. She's decided that she wants to go and bark at the workmen. So hopefully she won't disturb us too much. So yeah, I was just writing a blog, but I thought actually it made sense to come and chat to you guys as well. I was out yesterday and went for a lovely walk, took doggies, made the most of the sunshine. Don't know how much more we're going to get. But we went up to Dovedale, which was beautiful. This isn't really relevant to the story, but it was such a nice day. We went out to Dovedale, climbed up Thorpe Cloud. The dogs had a great time. Even the kids had a great time, which is really nice. And afterwards, we thought we'd come back through Ashbourne, which you haven't been, is such a lovely town, and decided that we were going to go and support a nice local business and go for coffee and cake. And then we were shown through into the dog room because we had doggies, and sat on 2 different tables. And there was another table with a family there with their little fluffy doggy under the table. And I ended up sat on my own for a little bit. The kids were chatting, and Neil went off to grab some bits from the shop nearby. And so by kind of default, I was just listening to the chatter in the room. And I realised that the people were, initially they were talking about vegetarianism, veganism, and that kind of thing, which is quite a current topic of conversation, I guess. I don't know if they were vegetarian, but again, not really relevant. And then they started talking about beauty products and cruelty-free products and safe products. And I really, really wanted to say, well, safe doesn't necessarily mean cruelty-free, and cruelty-free doesn't necessarily mean sort of clinically and chemically safe, but, you know, go for cruelty-free. And I really wanted to tell them about Illumia because it is cruelty-free. But anyway, that was kind of going on. So I didn't butt in. That was their conversation, not mine. And I was quite enjoying sitting there chilling with my coffee. And but then the conversation moved on to botox. And actually, they weren't talking about botox at all. And it made me think, hang on a minute, I think this is quite a common thing. I've heard it more than once. And as a result, I've come home and I've written a blog about it today. And I was going to put that out. But I thought, actually, well, I've got 5 minutes before the children come home from school, I will come and talk to you about it as well. So what they were actually talking about was dermal fillers. Now, as you all know, over the last few months, we have introduced injectable cosmetics into the clinic. I love doing fillers. They are, it's a very creative process. It took me a long time to introduce them into the clinic because I wanted to make sure I was competent and that I had the right support around me. When you work on your own, there's lots of people out there doing this on their own and they're not necessarily medically qualified. And I needed to know that I had the right sort of mentorship and support around me, which I have got now. And so I've been doing them for a few months and I absolutely love doing dermal fillers. But dermal fillers are not Botox and Botox is not dermal fillers. And it was quite apparent that this family didn't know the difference. And why would you? You know, I'm not a mechanic. I wouldn't know what that cable in the car does compared to that one and why you'd have that one over that one and what, you know. It's one of those things. If you don't know, you don't know. And why would you? So my job is to come and tell you. So they basically were talking about Botox and, did you know you can use it to, sort of make your chin a different shape and shape your jawline. And my friend had it in her lips. And I'm like, no, she didn't have Botox in her lips and her jawline. She had dermal fillers in those places. Now, there is a lot of things you can do with Botox, and you can use Botox on the lower face as well. I've actually had it before. Obviously, this isn't something I do in my clinic, but I've had it for gummy smile. So if I smile too much, all you can see is gum, and it detracts from a smile, and it can cause people to be sort of lacking in confidence. So you can use Botox to drop that lip down. So there are uses for Botox in the lower face, but normally Botox is used in the upper face for wrinkle relaxing. What it does, it means that the nerve endings can't talk to the muscles, and it means that because the nerve endings can't talk to the muscles can't move. And if the muscles can't move, you don't get wrinkles forming because you can't move your face in the ways that you were moving it before. So it's facial movement along with lack of collagen, different sort of levels of hydration, hormones, sun damage, and all of the other things that go into aging. But ultimately, it's movement. I have got a bit of movement these days. But if you look at my skin, here's some lines. Now, if that was completely paralysed, it would be completely smooth. But because I like to have a little bit of movement, there are a few lines. But you do that repeatedly, you get deep lines and wrinkles. So Botox is used to stop the nerve ending talking to the muscle, and it causes paralysis of that muscle temporarily until the body can regrow those little nerve axioms and allow the muscles to start talking to that, to the nerves start talking to those muscles again, so the messages get through and the Botox wears off. It doesn't just wear off, the body has to regrow these little nerve endings. So what they were actually talking about in this restaurant yesterday was dermal fillers. And I have put a few posts out. There's quite a lot gone out over the last few months because it's something that I'm really loving doing and really enjoying. But what are dermal fillers and why isn't it Botox? Dermal fillers are it comes in a pre-filled syringe because it's very safe, it's very sterile, and they are used in various parts of the face. Now, some of you might have seen my video a couple of weeks ago when I went to the very talented Michelle Worthington's clinic for cheek fillers. So that's a really good, if you're concerned about general aging, cheek fillers are a really good place to start. If you think I'm not ready for lips yet, I'm not ready for lips yet, but I will undoubtedly have them at some point because we lose volume in all of those places. So for cheeks, for example, what happens? We have fat pads in different parts of our faces, and they provide the cushioning structure underneath. So you've got your bone layers, you've got your muscle. Collagen provides the structure of your skin. It's kind of like the scaffolding, if you like. And then you've got a fat layer. And I think it was Courtney Cox from Friends actually who said when you get older you have to sacrifice your butt for your face because if you get too thin you lose even more out of your face. So don't overdo it. And as you lose the fat pads, as we age, gravity takes an effect on our skin. We lose the coat hangers. So these fat pads are the coat hangers that sit under the skin. And so what happens is there's less to prop the skin up. And so gravity, if you look at what happens if imagine this is disappearing and gravity pulls down, you deepen these lines, even these lines, these ones around here. So you put the fillers, these dermal fillers, hyaluronic acid based fillers, they're very soft. There's different types, some are firmer than others. So for cheeks you'd use a firmer one than you would for lips, for example. And you put that back in and it provides that structure that you lose as we age and that fat volume decreases. So you put it back in, for example, cheeks are a good place to start for anti-aging. And then so if you imagine I hadn't had my cheek fillers, that's what my nasolabial folds look like. Put that structure back in and it lifts that line there for starters. Put nothing like Shell did on mine and it actually did help to lift my jawline a little bit as well. So that cheeks are a really good place to start with fillers. If you know you want to address some sort of aging issues but aren't ready for, don't want to go down the Botox route and you're not ready for having lip fillers and things like that, but want a bit of a quick fix while you start on the chemical peels and your home care, cheeks are a really good place to start. When you've done cheeks, you can then do something called nasolabial folds. So that's these deeper lines here. But you'd start with cheeks and then you need less here. If you start here, sometimes you can end up looking a bit bulbous if you put too much in. So you put fillers here to soften these lines. And then the other place you can put dermal fillers is around the mouth here. So what's called marionettes. You can lift those a little. And hyaluronic acid attracts water to itself. So wherever you put those fillers, it attracts water, so you're rehydrating the skin as well. Some fillers can be put in quite superficially, so some down here and some around the mouth are quite superficial. So again, you're hydrating the area, particularly if you go into lips, really lovely for hydrating. I did lips on a very lovely lady a couple of weeks ago, 73 years of age, never had anything like that done before at all. We've been doing skin treatments for a few months. But to make it age appropriate and so it wasn't scary for her, I didn't do any kind of big, borders or anything like that. We just put volume in her lips to plump them up, replace some of that volume that she's lost, and hydrate them to because as we age, we lose the volume in our lips and we lose hydration. So dermal fillers can be really useful for that. They can be very subtle. No one else needs to know that you've got lip fillers. You don't have to have big kind of, sharp lines and ridges around the edges. You don't have to have them looking like you can be suckered to a window. And I think this is the problem with dermal fillers. Quite often, people think of the real shockers that we see some people love it and some people don't. So that you see the really terrible stuff and you see the things where it goes horribly wrong. And then you see the trends. So some people like the really big lip look. Now I'm not a fan of it. But programs and shows like sort of Love Island, those kind of things have made it quite a big deal. And some people really like that look. But that isn't what you're going to get if you get lip fillers. If you go to somebody who's considerate about the types of fillers that they use, the types of looks they want to create. I don't want to be known for somebody who creates really massive overdone lips, but there are people out there who will do that. I want to be known for subtle, age-appropriate, professional-looking results. So I don't want other people to go, oh yeah, you've had fillers. People don't look at me and say, oh, you've had fillers. People said to me this weekend, I spent this weekend in a room full of aesthetic practitioners, loads of them, at a very, very fantastic conference that I went to. And I call a lot of them my friends. I've known a lot of them for a while. And not one person said, oh, nice cheek fillers. But quite a few people said to me, you're looking really well, Sal. I've not seen you for a while. You look really well. Now, I was obviously able to say to them, oh yeah, that'll be the cheek fillers, because they understand it makes sense to them. And some of them had seen my video. But the point is, the first thing they thought wasn't, have you had fillers? It was, oh gosh, you look better than the last time I saw you. You look more well, you look fresher, and that's what I aim to do. That's what I want to happen from dermal fillers, and that's where it pleases me, and that's the sort of reports that I get from my clients. It's this, wow, that looks so much better, but nobody's going to know. And that's what I want to. I've always said, since I started doing skin treatments, that the results I want and the responses I want people to come back to me with is, oh, I went to this wedding and everybody said, don't you look well? Not what have you had done? And the lady I was just talking about with the lips that I've just done, she went to her daughter's wedding recently and people were saying, well, what's your skincare routine? What do? You look so well. Not, gosh, you look like you've had a lot done since I last saw you. And that's what I want to be known for. So this isn't about giving you huge lips, huge kind of tubular cheeks and a complexion that's so frozen that no one can tell if you're happy or sad. This is about natural results. It's about making you look brilliant for your age. If you're 73 and you come and see me, I'm not going to make you look 50 and I'm not going to try. But what I will do is make you look amazing for 73. And that's what I want to happen. So I hope that's cleared up the difference between fillers and Botox. They are very much not the same thing. And there's lots of places that do all of these things and you've got to be comfortable with where you go for those things. All my filler appointments for the next few months, I've got two different offers going on. One of them is I've still got a model offer going, so it's 20% off as long as you're happy for me to use your pictures, possibly set up a little video and take some images of us doing the treatment and testimonials, please. And the other offer is any of the injectable treatments between now and the end of the year. You'll get a free personalised skin treatment at your review appointment when you come in for review and treatment adjustment if you need it. So I said fillers are something that I'm loving doing. It's a very creative process. It can look very, very natural and people are loving the results. And I also appear to be getting quite a nice reputation for being quite gentle. People are sometimes very anxious about having fillers because they're not sure if it's going to hurt. It can be a bit uncomfortable sometimes, but it shouldn't be agony. And everybody I've had so far have either said, it doesn't hurt as much as I was expecting, or it didn't hurt as much as the last time I had it somewhere else. So that's really nice for me to know, because I'm used to. I started my career with pain-free hair removal. So to start doing things that hurt people, I would have found quite difficult. So none of the things I do are excruciating. It can be managed. I use a lot of local anaesthetic creams for some things if we need to. So don't forget, look at those offers. I'm going to put this talk out as a blog. I've nearly finished writing that. Come and jump on and see my new website if you haven't seen it already. And hopefully that's cleared up the differences, because, like I said, if you don't know, you don't know, and why would you? So dermal fillers are for replacing volume and contouring, shaping, and putting back the coat hangers in your skin. And botox, or botulinum toxin, is a medical treatment used to freeze muscles, so paralyze muscles, and it's used in a very different way to dermal fillers. So give me a shout if you want any more information. I hope that's been useful, and watch out for more from me. There's a lot more coming, and there's more things in the pipeline. The next 12 months are going to be very exciting. So keep in touch. Come and have a chat if you've not had a treatment for a while. Come and see me. I hope that's helped, and I will see you all later in the week. Take care. Bye.